No problem, no problem.
So make sure you always have your vest and your brochures so you can give them to people. Let them know the phone number and that they can call back and make a reservation if we're having a busy day. And then also driving directions in case anybody needs directions going anywhere. When you're the only person in the parking lot, you should stay on channel 1 so that you can contact other people easily. But when there's multiple people in the parking lot, you want to switch to channel 2. So for example, if there's a 1-hole and a 2-hole, both of them would be on channel 2. So they can talk to each other about parking cars and which cars are being sent down without adding radio chatter to the regular channel 1. Also, if you have 4-hole, that person should also be on channel 2. Make sure you switch to the right channel and always do a radio check to make sure that everyone else can hear you. Whenever the parking lot is completely full with cars, the 1-hole will send another parking lot person down to be the 4-hole, which is the person that goes towards the end of the road and only lets in cars that have reservations. The parking lot person will either drive this 4-hole person to the 4-hole, or they will drive themselves in the Kia. This is the 4-hole. You need to make sure you bring the signs down with you and driving directions and brochures. They'll stay right here, greet each car and let them know that we're completely sold out and the parking lot is full and we're only allowing people with reservations in at this time. Make sure you encourage them to call back and make a reservation for a later date. This is where the cars turn around, so you send them up the 4-hole like that, and then they turn around right here in this little bend. The 2-hole is also the best place to park larger vehicles like SUVs or big trucks, because the dirt spots are much larger than the spots in the 1-hole. They're also shady spots if you need to use those. The mystery spot handicap spot is this spot right here, the closest one to the gate. We have it coned off until a handicapped person needs to park there. It's also wheelchair accessible if their car has the lift on the side, so that the person can get out of the car that way and not be pinched in too close between cars. So make sure you reserve this spot for handicapped people. We also have these 3 spots up here in the parallel. So between the white lines you can have one there, and one there, and then one there. We refer to this spot as the parallel, and it's also a good place to put bigger trucks or people that want to be in the shade. The speed bump and the trees right here mark the line from where the upper parking lot, the 1-hole, splits to be the 2-hole. The 2-hole person is the 1-hole's backup, and the 1-hole lets the 2-hole know what cars they're sending down to be parked and which ones are leaving. So when they come down into the 2-hole is responsible for greeting that car and directing them to the next open spot. You also need to keep up a count of how many spots are available in the 2-hole, because the 1-hole will commonly radio you and ask for a count or how many available spaces you have. So you need to make sure you stay on it with the amount of open spaces you have as cars leave and arrive. In the car, if you use this lever right here, open the trunk, you can see that in the trunk of the Kia is where we keep the sold out signs. So here's the one large fold out reservation only sign, and then the smaller sold out sign, which is right back there, if you can see it. Employee parking is located in the end of the parking lot over this bridge, and we get the entire dirt lot back there. So make sure when you come into work, you park back there and not in the regular parking lot. So we know everything below the speed bump is the 2-hole parking lot, and everything above it is the 1-hole. So up here it is the 1-hole's job to keep an eye on their spots, make sure they have enough to be parking cars, and to notify somebody when they feel like they need a 2-hole or even a 4-hole on the busiest days when the road needs to close. 1-hole spot is right here. So you have the 2 parallel side spots here, and the 1-hole will stand right here, right around this tree. Make sure you're standing and greet the cars as they enter. Make sure you ask them if they have a reservation, and then park them quickly so we don't have a line of cars. Whenever you need assistance in the parking lot, don't hesitate to call up to the ticket shack and ask for another guide to come help.